We will have a demonstration on Microsoft Entra Internet Access today. So Microsoft's SSC Security Service Edge is a larger umbrella, and that's basically it's like an security blanket for your users' online activity, if you will. That will kind of shield the threats in every step they take. I mean, let that be trying to access any website, trying to access the private resources, trying to access Office 365 data. The protection is always there with the Microsoft Security Service Edge solution. Now, what Microsoft Entra Internet Access does, and that's our topic of discussion for today. This will secure your users online. I mean, whatever website they're trying to access, if you want them to make sure they are accessing the good website or maybe bad website, or based on category, if you want to categorize and say this set of users will get access to this category of website so that you can keep them productive, etc. That's when you have this internet access, which will kind of help you prevent that or protect your users. Now you have access for Microsoft 365, Microsoft Entra Internet Access for Microsoft 365. This kind of keeps those wrong hands out, as in you can protect your any data exfiltration attempts or tenant restrictions if you want to enforce, or if you want to kind of restore the source IP address from the original egress IP address, so that you can enhance the security logs. And there are many other features, but predominantly access to Office 365. That's what you can control with this particular Microsoft Entra Internet Access for Microsoft 365. Now, the third module, which is basically your Microsoft Entra Private Access, with this you can skip or ditch your VPN, and then you can bring your own secure solution, have the users be able to access application of their choice in on premises, RDP, print servers, any websites, etc. You can have user to application sort of a mapping here, so that they can access those resources, not a tunnel which is kind of wide open. Instead, it'll be a one-on-one sort of a mapping which you can bring to the users using the Zentra private access. So anytime, anywhere they want to access the resources inside your premises, like LOB line of business applications, or maybe resources on your premises, that's when you use Entra private access. Our focus for today would be internet access. These are the steps, high-level steps. Enable the internet traffic forwarding, that is step number one. Then you create a web content filtering policy, create a security profile, and then you link the security profile to the conditional access policy. These are the steps for your Microsoft Entra Internet, enabling the Microsoft Entra Internet Access. Now let's get to the demo. Go to entra.microsoft.com. Okay, from there, global secure access, security, web content filtering policy. Web content filter, global secure. Secure web content. You can also, and the next step would be to go to security profile and create a profile. So create a profile. In the description, you're going to state that as an enabled, and then you have a priority to choose from between until 65,000 policies, or rather priority, you can apply. Go ahead and say 200, or maybe link a policy. Here also, either you can create a new policy or pick up an existing policy. I'm going to pick up an existing policy, the one which you created. So pick up what other policy you have created earlier, give that priority, and then add it here. That's it, and click on next, and then the profile is created. Or if you want to create a new one, create a new policy, that is also possible, right? Give it a description block, enable next, and then again add a rule. In the rule, it can be a category or an FQDN. FQDN could be start.microsoft.com, start.yahoo.com, or a category like networking, or maybe social networking, professional networking, everything you can, so that the category will be blocked. So that's that. So you link it, or maybe you create a existing one. I mean, create a new one, or maybe link it an existing one. After this, you go to the conditional access, and this is exactly where you stitch the solution. You kind of stitch everything together. Go to your conditional access policy, go to policies, create a new policy. Point the users, don't lock yourself, so make sure that you select exclude your break glass account, and all those recommendations needs to be maintained. Select the user. Oh, did not select the user. And now turn this policy to on, and then the target resources, global secure access, select internet traffic. This is important. Conditions, you can define whatever conditions you want to define, and then the meat of the whole solution is here in the sessions. You're not going to define anything in the grant, right? So here, I mean, you can, but typically you don't have to. So here, use global secure access security profile, and then you choose the one which you had created as a profile. The profile which you had created, you'll have the list of all the profiles here. Choose it, select it, and create, and that's it. I've created a policy here. Similar to whatever we have discussed now. User selected, profile. We just have to select this global secure access internet traffic, and then this session you define, or rather you pick up the profile you have created. That's it. And now you have to have the client which is having the client installed, global secure service client installed. If not, then you go to the same dashboard, go to client download. You have the global secure access client. You can download it and you can push it down to the computer, either Microsoft Entra joint computers or maybe Microsoft Entra hybrid joint computers. You can use an Intune, you can use GPOs, you can use manually install it, your choice, but yeah, you have to have the client installed. Here I have the client. Now the experience would be, if I try to go to maybe, this is a Microsoft Entra joint, not a hybrid one, but it's completely different network. Like possibly I'm working from home sort of a scenario. I try to access google.com. I can, absolutely can. I can. Now if I try to access microsoft.com, I can. Now if I try to access a linkedin.com, I will not be able to because I've blocked it. Right. So if I try to access facebook.com, these are all networking sites, if you will. So we have blocked that category. Now, irrespective of the browser, the user logged in, not logged in on that particular browser, etc., it'll always work. Private, incognito, etc., it'll always work. Now, private, maybe. I'll not be able to access. Chrome. What is it? Oh, okay. So that's the crux of it. That's how you will be able to keep the users productive by restricting them from accessing certain content which you believe might deteriorate their productivity. I mean, there could be scenarios where you might even be able to define certain sites which you can have, like a blacklisting, whitelisting sort of a, that can also be done. Or maybe you can set certain priorities, or maybe if you want to have sales team, there's a, you can apply the conditional access policy to all users, block everything, and except maybe a sales team who might want to access a lot of other sites, networking sites. So that way those flexibility is given to you by conditional access. The robust security is kind of given to you by the SSE solution, irrespective of the browser which you're going to use. That's it. Now, I mean, yeah, you can always go to the logs and you can see the logs from here. If you want to see, what that user had been trying to access, if it is, if they are allowing it, or if you're blocking it, allowing it, etc., etc. All of that can be. It'll take some time. I mean, talking about maybe 10, 15 minutes to appear here, but you will see it here, right? Now, you can filter these things here in terms of, like, what are they trying to, what is the user trying to access, and on the computer also you have, this client advanced diagnostics, and forwarding profile you can expand, and internet access rules, if you will, then you will get to see what are the rules which you have, which we have kind of push it down to the computer, right? So that way what is allowed, not allowed, things of that nature. You'll have to keep an eye on the priorities you set on the profiles you create. So if there are two conditional access policy which is matching, both the policies will be applied. Now, like the firewall, the priority, the lowest will always take a high priority, right? So that's how it works. Thank you.